What's going on, everyone, and welcome back. And today I'll be doing a review of the new Batman film. I'll start by saying this movie was made for hardcore Batman fans. It's the movie we've all been waiting for. So yes, you can nitpick at a few things, but overall, it was a masterpiece of cinema. It's like flipping through those comic book pages. Let's start with Robert Pattinson, hands down the best Batman of all time. I know we're only a weekend in, but I'm telling you guys, his performance was top notch. I'll start with his brooding image and his walk. There's a menacing pace to his walk. You feel like you're watching a slasher film. Think of the original Halloween movie, how Michael Myers had a distinct walk and with a perfect score. That was Robert Pattinson. The composer for this film was Michael Giacchino and deserves a ton of credit for making Batman appear menacing. Do yourself a favor and go buy the soundtrack. I'm sure you can find it on iTunes. Next, we get to spend a ton of time with Batman. No Batman movie has ever had this much screen time under the cowl. Robert Pattinson's under the cowl about 90% of the movie, and we only have about 2-3 scenes with Bruce Wayne. The fact that we get to spend so much time with Batman was fucking epic. This Batman is grounded, gritty, dark, and damaged. The best part is he knows he's crazy and embraces it. When he's around other people, it's so wild. He just stares. It's fucking creepy. It's like he's some kind of outsider, some kind of alien. I'm telling you, he is batshit crazy. Now, let's bring up what was most anticipated about this new Batman movie, the quote-unquote Detective Batman. In all their films, I would say we have only really seen Michael Keaton be a detective when he uncovers who killed his parents. But besides that, not much. Christian Bale always seemed to ask Lucius Fox for help. I felt he was always one step behind as Bruce Wayne. Heath Ledger was always one step ahead of him. And Ben Affleck just always had the answers. There wasn't enough screen time for him to explain how he figured it out. But with Robert Pattinson, you get to see his full arsenal of tools he uses to solve crime. He has these contacts that record everything he sees, so he can play back his whole day and take note of it. It's also why sometimes he just stares, so you can get a clear shot. I thought that was an awesome way of making Batman look so mysterious. He's just recording what he sees to analyze it later. It reminded me of the Arkham games I played as a kid, so I thought that was pretty epic. And finally, Batman gets his due. No one outshines Robert Pattinson. Batman has the most famous rogues gallery, and many times the villains are what we remember walking out of the theater. 1989 Batman, it was the Joker, Jack Nicholson. In Batman Returns, it was Catwoman, Michelle Pfeiffer. In Batman Forever, it was the Riddler, but only because that was when Jim Carrey was at his peak. Batman and Robin, well, that was crap. In Batman Begins, the movie was great, but we only saw Batman about 3 times, so I was still thinking like, what the fuck? In The Dark Knight, you obviously left thinking about the Joker, Heath Ledger. And in The Dark Knight Rises, you left saying Bane's voice. So for the first time, after watching a Batman film, I left the theater talking about how kick-ass Batman was. That being said, the whole cast was amazing. The Riddler was exactly like the Arkham games, just dressed less goofy. But there is a moment in the movie when he breaks down. It was amazing, just like the comic books. The Riddler always has a breakdown when he miscalculates the endgame. He hates that feeling, and Paul Dano delivered. As for the Penguin, he was so epic. I liked him the best, from all the villains. He had the limp, he had the stomach, he had the nose, and he had his iceberg lounge. To see that iceberg lounge was so cool. I swear, I almost lost it. It was like reading the comic books and the comic books coming to life. This movie sets up his rise to power. By the end of the movie, he has positioned himself to be the top dog. Remember, this is year 2 of Batman, so many characters are not yet established. I assume the new HBO Max Penguin show will show us his rise to power. And to name a few more characters, Gordon. He was great. The chemistry between Batman and Gordon was top notch. You can tell that they were friends and that they trust one another. As for Catwoman, she had some scenes ripped straight from the comics. There's a specific scene when she is swinging down the apartment buildings and it looks just like the comics. It was cool to see. By the end of the film, Batman realizes that he needs to fight for more than vengeance, and the death of his parents will no longer be his only drive, as he learns his parents' death was a precursor of previous acts. Batman realizes if he's going to change Gotham, he needs to be more than vengeance, but a hero that the city can count on. With Gotham flooded, Batman begins to help all the citizens and becomes a beacon of hope. Alright guys, that's your wrap on my thoughts and opinion of this new Batman franchise. You don't have to agree with everything I said, but I hope you enjoyed the video, and please make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll be doing a Joker video soon for this new Pattinson verse. Peace.